of Dr. Mitra, his wife Srimati Sri Rupa Mitra, his son Rudraksh, his daughter Ankushi, his mother-in-law Srimati Sunanda Chaudhary, and other close relatives who are present here. I would like to thank you all for joining us today to pay homage to Dr. Ramkrishna Mitra. Dr. Mitra left us for his heavenly abode on May 28th of this year. Dr. Mitra was also my mentor, my guide, my colleague, both at work and while we were doing our research for our PhDs at IIT Delhi, and most importantly, my friend for over 20 years. Dr. Mitra was a doyen, a towering personality across fields of governance and academia, straddling both the areas. He was the first PhD in e-governance in this country, getting his degree from IIT Delhi, that too at a very late age. He was very, very interested in academics, and which is why, in spite of the tremendous load he had in the government, he did his PhD along with the responsibilities that he carried as a senior government officer. Dr. Mitra was deeply respected by the leaders of the nation and his colleagues for the unfailing support he provided to the government and to our country during times of crisis, and for the institution building and reforms that he was entrusted with. Dr. Mitra was responsible for organizing the movement of troops during the revocation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. He was also instrumental in setting up the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center as the nation started facing threats from cybercrime, from espionage, and so on. He also reformed the processes of Foreigners Regional Registration Office, the FRRO, and many numerous other initiatives that he took up that was contributed by him to our nation. A loving father, a caring husband, Dr. Mitra was looked up by all whose life he touched. He was truly a giant among us. I would now like to read a message from our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. The message is addressed to Srimati Sri Rupa Mitra Chaudhary ji. I received the news of the demise of Dr. Ramkrishna Mitra with a feeling of sorrow. Such a loss leaves a void that can never be filled. A distinguished scholar and economist, Dr. Mitra was a pioneer among the brilliant minds that studied and understood e-governance deeply. For nearly 4 decades, he made a lasting contribution to the realms of public policy and administration. Dr. Mitra's versatility came to the fore when he made a transition to the field of academia, serving in teaching and leadership positions in highly reputed universities. Dr. Ramkrishna Mitra will be missed by family, friends, students, and well-wishers. However, the impact that he had through his efforts in governance and academia will remain in the hearts of those who knew him. My heartfelt condolences and thoughts are with you and the family. May you gather the strength and fortitude to endure this grievous loss. Om Shanti. I would also read a message from the Honorable Home Minister, Shri Amit Shah. It's again addressed to Srimati Sri Rupa Mitra Chaudhary ji. आपके पति डॉक्टर रामकृष्ण मित्रा जी के निधन का दुखद समाचार प्राप्त हुआ। समाचार सुनकर मन व्यथित एवं हृदय मर्माहित है। पति के चले जाने पर जीवन में आई रिक्तता को शब्दों में व्यक्त नहीं किया जा सकता है। आपके परिवार पर आए इस दुखद एवं आत्मीय के निधन पर मैं गहरी संवेदना और शोक व्यक्त करता हूँ। दुख, शोक एवं पीड़ा की स्थिति में हम भारतवासियों को अपने पूज्य शास्त्रों से साहस और बल मिलता है। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता में भगवान श्री कृष्ण कहते हैं कि जिसने जन्म लिया है उसकी मृत्यु निश्चित है, और जिसकी मृत्यु हो गई है उसका जन्म निश्चित है। इसलिए ये जन्म मरण रूप भाव अपरिहार्य है, अर्थात किसी प्रकार भी इसका प्रतिकार नहीं किया जा सकता। मैं महान जीवात्मा के विनम्र श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करते हुए ईश्वर से प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि दिवंगत आत्मा को अपने श्री चरणों में स्थान दे एवं शोकाकुल परिवार को इस क्षति को सहन करने का अदम्य शक्ति प्रदान करें। I would now request eminent Hindustani classical artist Srimati Dr. Subhadra Desai to commence the prayer meeting.
नमस्कार। दिवंगत आत्मा के प्रति अपना प्रणाम व्यक्त करते हुए हम लोग शुरुआत करते हैं। सर्वप्रथम श्रीमद् भागवत चतुश्लोकी हम लोग उच्चारण करेंगे। तत्पश्चात सूर्योपनिषद का एक मंत्र और उसके बाद कबीर, मलुकदास, गोरखनाथ जी के कुछ भजन। अंत में श्री रूपा दीदी के प्रिय एक बहुत सुंदर रवींद्र संगीत गाऊंगी, उसका अर्थ भी बता दूंगी। हम लोग शुरू करते हैं चतुश्लोकी भागवत। अहमेवास्मेवाग्रे नान्यत् यत्सदसत्परं पश्चादहं यदेतच्च यो वशिष्येत सोऽस्म्यहम् ऋतेऽर्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यादात्मनो मायां यथा भासो यथा तमः यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनु प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् एतावदेव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्याम् यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा। नमो मित्राय भानवे मृत्योर्मा पाहि भ्राजिष्णवे विश्वहेतवे नमः। नमो मित्राय भानवे मृत्योर्मा पाहि भ्राजिष्णवे विश्वहेतवे नमः सूर्यात् भवत् भूतानि सूर्येण पालितानि तु सूर्ये लयं प्राप्नुवन्ति यः सूर्यः सोऽहमेव च। मुरशीद 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 ननो बेचन बीह मुरशीद ननो बेचन बीह नबी है नबी है नबी है नबी है मुर्शिद ननो बीच नबी है मुर्शिद ननो बीच नबी है सफेद तिलों बिच तारा स्याह सफेद तिलों बिच तारा अभिगत लखर भी है मुर्शिद ननो बिच नबी मुर्शिद ननो बीच नबी है। आँखि मध्य पाखी चमके चमके पाखी चमके पाखी मध्य द्वारा पाखी मध्य द्वारा तेहि द्वार दूरबीन लगा के तेहि द्वार दूरबीन लगा के भवजल पारा उतरे भवजल पारा मुर्शिद ननो बीच नबी है मुर्शिद ननो बीच नबी है। शहर में बास हमारा हमारा सुन शहर में बास हमारा कहूँ सरवंगी जावे साहेब कबीरा सदा के संगी साहेब कबीरा सदा के भेद तिलो बीच तारा अभिगत लख रबी मुर्शिद नैनो बीच नबी मुर्शिद नैनो बीच नबी नबी है नबी है नबी है नबी है नबी है या मुर्शिद नैनो बीच नबी है। हम परदेसी पंछी बाबा आणि देसराना ओ जी हम परदेसी पंछी बाबा आणि देसराना ओ आणि देसरा लोग अजेता आणि देसरा लोग अजेता पल पल पर पछताई भाई संतो आणि देसरा ओ जी हम परदेसी हम परदेसी पंछी बाबा आणि देसराना ओ जी मुख बिन गाना पग बिन चलना बिना पंख उड़ जाई ओ जी बिना मोह की सूरत हमारी बिना मोह की सूरत हमारी अनहद में रम जाई भाई संतो आणि देसराना ओ जी हम परदेसी पंछी बाबा आणि देसराना ओ जी छाया बैठूं आगे न व्यापे धूप अधक शीतलाई हो जी छाया बैठूं आगे न व्यापे धूप अधक शीतलाई हो जी छाया धूप से सतगुरु नारा छाया धूप से सतगुरु न्यारा हम सतगुरु के माई आठों पहर अडग रहे आसन, कद न उतरे स्याही ओ जी। आठों पहर अडग रहे आसन, कद न उतरे स्याही ओ जी। मन पवना दोनों नहीं पहुँचे, मन पवना दोनों नहीं पहुँचे, उन्हीं देश राही भाई संतो, अणि देश रानाई ओ जी। हम परदेसी पंछी बाबा, अणि देश रानाई ओ जी। निर्गुण रूपी है मेरा दाता, सरगुण नाम धराई ओ जी। निर्गुण रूपी है मेरा दाता, सरगुण नाम धराई ओ जी। कहे कबीरा सुनो भाई साधो, कहे कबीरा सुनो भाई साधो, साहेब है घट माई भाई संतो, अणि देश रानाई ओ जी। हम परदेसी पंछी बाबा, अणि देश रानाई ओ जी ओ जी ओ जी। राम 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 आ आ राम राम रोम रोम, राम राम रोम रोम, मन चित्त राम राम। राम राम रोम रोम, मन चित्त राम राम। राम राम रोम रोम, मन चित्त राम राम। राम राम है भैया राम की दुहाई है, राम राम है भैया राम की दुहाई है। जिन सो दिन तन ताहि से लगायो मन, जिन मुराई है। राम राम रोम रोम मन चित्त राम राम, राम राम रोम रोम मन चित्त राम राम, राम राम है भैया राम की दुहाई है। राम राम है भैया राम की दुहाई है, राम की दुहाई है, राम की दुहाई है। धाई धाई किए धाम अंत को न कोई काम, धाई धाई किए धाम अंत को न कोई काम, धाई धाई किए धाम अंत को न कोई काम, धाई धाई किए धाम अंत को न कोई काम। काहे को काहे को काहे को काहे को काहे को काहे को दुखाई कण कण संसाई है। काहे को दुखाई कण कण संसाई है। राम राम रोम रोम मन चित्त राम राम, राम राम है भैया राम की दुहाई है। राम राम है भैया राम की दुहाई है, राम की दुहाई है, राम की दुहाई है। जाई देखो कहाँ हाथी, कौन काको भयो साथी। 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 होवेगा मालूम जमा जालिमा कसाई है। होवेगा मालूम जमा जालिमा कसाई है। राम राम रोम रोम, राम राम रोम रोम मन चित्त राम राम, राम राम रोम रोम मन चित्त राम राम, राम राम है भैया राम की दुहाई है। राम राम है भैया राम की दुहाई है। राम की दुहाई है, राम की दुहाई है। कहे मलूक दास बात मेरी मान लीजिए। कहे मलूक दास बात मेरी मान लीजिए। कहे मलूक दास बात मेरी मान लीजिए। आ कहे मलूक दास बात मेरी मान लीजिए। कहे मलूक दास बात मेरी मान लीजिए। कहे मलूक दास बात मेरी मान लीजिए। फिर अंत काल तेरो कोई न सहाय है। फिर अंत काल तेरो कोई न सहाय है। राम राम रोम रोम की दुहाई है, राम की दुहाई है। सिद्ध भजो ओंकार, सिद्ध भजो ओंकार वपदौ, सिद्ध भजो ओंकार वपदौ कायामंजन सारजी। सिद्ध भजो ओंकार वपदौ कायामंजन सारजी, कायामंजन सारजी, कायामंजन सारजी। शिखर भीतर नाद बाजे, शिखर भीतर नाद बाजे, आत्मा दिन रण जागे, दिन रण जागे। शिखर भीतर नाद बाजे, आत्मा दिन रण जागे, दिन रण जागे। नाद सुन सुन लागी डोरी, आत्मा दिन रण बोरी। सिद्ध भजो, सिद्ध भजो, सिद्ध भजो, सिद्ध भजो, सिद्ध भजो ओंकार वपदौ कायामंजन सारजी। सिद्ध भजो ओंकार वपदौ कायामंजन सारजी, कायामंजन सारजी, कायामंजन सारजी। पांच पकड़ो तीन छोड़ो, पांच पकड़ो तीन छोड़ो, आठ लावो घाट जी, आठ लावो घाट जी। पांच पकड़ो तीन छोड़ो, आठ लावो घाट जी, आठ लावो घाट जी। उठो हंसा आ आ आ उठो हंसा पीवो पानी, उठो हंसा पीवो पानी। त्रिवेणी के घाट जी, त्रिवेणी के घाट जी। उठो हंसा पीवो पानी, त्रिवेणी के घाट जी, त्रिवेणी के घाट जी। सिद्ध भजो, सिद्ध भजो, सिद्ध भजो, सिद्ध भजो। चेत गोरख खंडरासा चेत गोरख खंडरासा खोल कवड़ी देख आसा देख आसा चेत गोरख खंडरासा खोल कवड़ी देख आसा देख आसा देख लो दीदार से जी देख लो दीदार से देख लो दीदार से जी देख लो दीदार से जी देख लो दीदार से जी सिद्ध भजो ओंकार सिद्ध भजो ओंकार अवधो कायाम जन सार जी कायाम जन सार जी कायाम जन सार जी कायाम जन सार जी कायाम जन सार जी। ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले जी ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले ओ जी ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले हे जी सोहम सोहम ब्रह्म रे ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले ए जी सोहम सोहम ब्रह्म रे ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले पंचकोश को तू है साक्षी हो जी पंचकोश को तू है साक्षी हे जी चेतन समझ तू ब्रह्म रे ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजिले जन्म जरायते मृत्यु नहीं तो को नहीं कारणनी क्रम रे जन्म जरायते मृत्यु नहीं तो को नहीं कारणनी क्रम रे नहीं तो श्वेता नहीं तो रत्न नहीं तो श्वेता पीत ब्रह्म भजीले ए जी सोहम सोहम ब्रह्म रे ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजीले ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजीले नहीं तो बाधा नहीं तो मुक्ता नहीं तो देहनो धर्म रे नहीं तो बाधा नहीं तो मुक्ता नहीं तो देहनो धर्म रे नहीं तू दीर्घ नहीं तू सूक्ष्म नहीं तू दीर्घ नहीं तू सूक्ष्म गौरी स्वतंत्र ब्रह्म रे ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजीले ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजीले ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजीले ए जी सोहम सोहम ब्रह्म रे ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजीले ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजीले ओहम सोहम ब्रह्म भजीले अंतरगति अंतरगति अणि अणि बाणी अंतरगति अणि अणि बाणी गगन गुपत मधुकर मधु पीवत गगन गुपत मधुकर मधु पीवत सुगति शेष शिव जानी अंतरगति अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी त्रिगुण तिविधि तड़पत मेरा तन तिंती तंत मिलानी मिलानी तंती तंत मिलानी त्रिगुण त्रिविधि तड़पत मेरा तन तंती तंत मिलानी भागे भरमा भोई न भय भारी भागे भरमा भोई न भय भारी विधि बिरची सुषि जानी अंतरगति अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अनल अमर मर पाणी पाणी अनल अमर मर पाणी बरन बबन अबरन विधि पावक अनल अमर मर पाणी रब ससि सुबग राय भरि सब घटी रब ससि सुबग राय सब घटी रब ससि सुबग राय भरि सब घटी सबद सुनी तिथि माही अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी गगन गुपत मधुकर मधु पीवत गगन गुपत मधुकर मधु पीवत सुगति से सस्व जानी अंतरगति अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी संकट सकति सकल कुख खोए उदधि मथित सब हारे हारे उदधि मथित सब हारे संकट सकति सकल सुख खोए उदधि मथित सब हारे हारे उदधि मथित सब हारे कह कबीरा गम पुर पटण कह कबीरा गम पुर पटण प्रगट पुरातन जारे अंतरगति अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी गगन गुपत मधुकर मधु पीवत गगन गुपत मधुकर मधु पीवत सुगति से सस्व जानी अंतरगति अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी अंतरगति अनि अनि वाणी राम गुण बेलड़ी रे राम गुण बेलड़ी रे राम गुण बेलड़ी रे अवधू राम गुण बेलड़ी रे अवधू गोरखनाथी जानी गोरख गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी। नाती स्वरूप ना छाया जाके बिरध करे बिन पानी, राम गुण बेलड़ी रे, राम गुण बेलड़ी रे, राम गुण बेलड़ी रे अवधू गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी। बेलड़िया बेलड़िया आनी पहुँती सब, बेलड़िया आनी पहुँती गागन पहुँती सली सली, बेलड़िया आनी पहुँती गागन पहुँती सली सली, सहज बेल जब फूलण लागी, सहज बेल जब फूलण लागी, डाली कूपण मेली राम गुण, राम गुण बेलड़ी रे, राम गुण बेलड़ी रे अवधू गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी। मन कुंजर जाए, मन कुंजर जाए बाड़ी बिलव्या, सतगुरु माहि बेली बेली, मन कुंजर जाए बाड़ी बिलव्या, सतगुरु माहि बेली बेली, पंच सखी मिले पवन पया प्या, पंच सखी मिली पवन पया प्या, बाड़ी पाड़ी मेली राम गुण बेलड़ी रे, राम गुण बेलड़ी रे अवधू, राम गुण बेलड़ी रे अवधू गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी। काटत बेली कूपल मेली, सींच ताड़ी कुमलानी कुमलानी, काटत बेली कूपल मेली, सींच ताड़ी कुमलानी मिलानी, कहे कबीर ते बिरला जोगी, कहे कबीर ते बिरला जोगी, सहज निरंतर जानी राम गुण, राम गुण बेलड़ी रे, राम गुण बेलड़ी रे अवधू गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी, गोरखनाथी जानी। साधो 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 देखो रे जग बाराना रे साधो 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 देखो रे जग बाराना रे साधो 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 देखो रे जग बाराना रे साधो साधो साच कहो तो मारन लागे साच कहो तो मारन लागे साच कहो तो मारन लागे झूठी कहो पतियाना साधो साधो देखो रे जग बाराना रे साधो 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 देखो रे जग बाराना रे साधो 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 हिंदू कहे मोय राम प्यारा हिंदू कहे मोय राम प्यारा तुरक कहे रहीमाना तुरक कहे रहीमाना हिंदू कहे मोय राम प्यारा हिंदू कहे मोय राम प्यारा तुरक कहे रहीमाना तुरक कहे रहीमाना आपस में दो लड़ी लड़ी मोय आपस में दो लड़ी लड़ी मोय मरम न कोई जाना साधो साधो देखो रे जग बाराना रे साधो 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 देखो रे जग बाराना रे साधो 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 घर घर मंतर देत फिरत है घर घर मंतर देत फिरत है घर घर मंतर देत फिरत है माया के अभिमाना माया के अभिमाना घर घर मंतर देत फिरत है घर घर मंतर देत फिरत है माया के अभिमाना माया के अभिमाना पीपर पाथर पूजन लागे पीपर पाथर पूजन लागे तीरथ भय बुलाना साधो साधो देखो रे जग बाराना रे साधो 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 देखो रे जग बाराना रे साधो 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 माला फेरे टोपी पहिरे छाप तिलक अनुमान माला फेरे टोपी पहिरे छाप तिलक अनुमान कहे कबीर आ कहे कबीर सुनो भय साधो ये सब भरम भुलाना। साधो साधो देखो रे जग बाराना रे। साधो 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 देखो रे जग बाराना रे। साधो साधो साच कहो तो मारन लागे, साच कहो तो मारन लागे, झूठी कहो पतियाना। साधो साधो देखो रे जग बाराना रे। साधो 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 देखो रे जग बाराना रे। साधो 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 साधो। अब अंत में एक रविंद्रनाथ ठाकुर का गीत गा लूं, जो दीदी को बहुत मन है। ठीक। चौथा एक मिनट। ये तानपुरा थोड़ा बढ़ा दीजिए, छोड़। I wanted to share the purport of the song with all of you because many of you would not know Bengali. In this life, there is sorrow, there is death, there is searing pain of separation. Yet there is peace, there is joy, and endless bliss. Life goes on, the sun, the moon, and the stars smile. And spring breaks out in all colors and melodies. The waves rise and the waves fall. The flowers wither and drop to give birth to new blossoms. Where there is no loss, no end, no pain, in that perfect space, may I rest in eternal peace. আছে দুঃখ, আছে মৃত্যু, বিরহ দহন লাগে, তবু শান্তি, তবু আনন্দ, তবু অনন্ত জাগে। আছে দুঃখ, আছে মৃত্যু, বিরহ দহন লাগে, তবু শান্তি, তবু আনন্দ, তবু অনন্ত জাগে। আছে দুঃখ, আছে মৃত্যু, তবু প্রাণ নিত ধারা হাসে সূর্য চন্দ্র তারা, তবু প্রাণ নিত ধারা হাসে সূর্য চন্দ্র তারা, বসন্ত নিকুঞ্জে আসে বিচিত্র রাগে, আছে দুঃখ আছে মৃত্যু, তরঙ্গ মিলায় যায় তরঙ্গ উঠে, কুসুম ঝরিয়া পড়ে কুসুম ফুটে, তরঙ্গ মিলায় যায় তরঙ্গ উঠে, কুসুম ঝরিয়া পড়ে কুসুম ফুটে, নাহি ক্ষয় নাহি শেষ, নাহি নাহি দৈনলেশ, নাহি ক্ষয় নাহি শেষ, নাহি নাহি দৈনলেশ, সেই পূর্ণতার পায় মন স্থান মাগে, আছে দুঃখ আছে মৃত্যু, বিরহ দহন লাগে, তবু শান্তি তবু আনন্দ, তবু আনন্দ জাগে, আছে দুঃখ আছে মৃত্যু।
Thank you, Srimati Dr. Subhadra Desai. I would now request for the screening of a short audiovisual on Dr. Mitra.
We just take 2 minutes to clear the stage, please.
Ode to Dr. Mitra. In books and pens, your soul did thrive with Jim Corbett's tales, your spirit alive. Through empty roads of IIT Delhi you wandered. In those quiet moments, your thoughts you pondered. Your heart beat strong for your beloved daughter. In solitude's embrace, you found your solace, your harbor. Mountains, tigers, and woods called your name. In chirpy birds' songs, you heard life's eternal game. Across the Himalayas your dreams would climb, through tigers' roar and whispering pine. In Corbett's shadow your spirit would gleam. Amidst ancient trees, you found your serene. The waves whispered stories, Gopal Bha's delight, each tale a testament to your scholarly might. You cherished your students, your teachers, your friends. In shared ideas your spirit transcends. In the silence of the woods, I hear the world's breath. You'd muse, as mountains stood solemn in their depth. The Himalayas, your eternal muse. In their grandeur your soul would fuse. Now you rise like a star, your light will not fade. In gardens' morning walks, your presence is made. In notebooks, your thoughts still sing. Through reading glasses, your visions bring. You are here, you will always be. By Sri Rupa's side, your love a decree. By your students, your wisdom will guide. By your children, your legacy will abide. Dr. Mitra, you will not die. In our hearts and minds, your spirit will fly.
আলোয় আলোয় এই আকাশে আমার মুক্তি আলোয় আলোয় আমার মুক্তি ধুলায় ধুলায় ঘাসে ঘাসে এই আকাশে আমার মুক্তি আলোয় আলোয় দেহ মনের সুদূর পারে হারিয়ে ফেলি আপনারে দেহ মনের সুদূর পারে হারিয়ে ফেলি আপনারে গানের সুরে আমার মুক্তি ঊর্ধ্বে ভাসে এই আকাশে আমার মুক্তি আলোয় আলোয়
This video was made by Dr. Mitra's PhD student Jasraj from IIT Jodhpur. Thank you, Jasraj, for putting this together. I would now request Professor Nagi, who is a mentor to Dr. Mitra, to come to the dais and pay homage to Dr. Mitra. Is Professor Nagi here?
Namaskar. Dr. Mitra was a great man. He came to me when he was doing PhD. He wanted my help. So I could, whatever the way I could guide, I guided him. But he told me one thing, sir, मैं आपको कभी नहीं छोड़ूंगा. So he maintained the relations. We often went to his house, he often came to me. So we had very good time, nice time. It is just like a family. Really, I miss him a lot. When I heard about it, really couldn't say anything about that. God may shower flowers on him. Thank you very much.
I would now request Professor Deshmukh, Professor Emeritus of IIT Delhi, to come and pay homage to Dr. Mitra.
Dr. Nagi mentored Dr. Mitra. And as you said, sir, I was also part of his PhD journey. He joined IIT Delhi in 2001. 2001 RSM 004 was his roll number. From this roll number, he became Dr. Ramkrishna Mitra. And throughout this journey, I had opportunity of interacting with him, sharing his thoughts, sharing his vision, and most importantly, his advice on so many topics. Ramkrishna Mitra, he embodies two different avatars of Vishnu, Lord Rama and Lord Krishna. As we are all aware, Rama is known for good and excellent governance. He got this idea and he contributed in the domain of e-governance. As Dr. Jaijit has said, his was the first PhD on e-governance in India. Specifically, he deliberated and developed a framework for having e-governance in police administration in India. He was able to contribute through his papers in top quality journals. He was also able to edit a variety of books on this topic. The second part, Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is known for his sage advice and mentoring. He followed this mission throughout his life. He mentored a generation of entrepreneurs and startups. And it was very interesting. He developed an online platform, very nice, that is called as Sun Tzu, a Chinese military strategist. And Dr. Mitra was a great believer in strategy and absolutely good amount of planning. Whatever activity he used to do, there used to be a meticulous planning in each and every activity. In this video, we saw a variety of transactions, a variety of seminars and workshops he arranged through Dr. Jaijit and his organization, for which he is a founder member, called as CDEP. And they deliberated on variety of topics on digitalization, how do you make government policies reach to the end, and so on. For every such activity, he used to come one day before, meticulously look at each and every detail, whether the arrangement of the stage is appropriate, whether the food arrangement is good, and all such aspect, he used to go in great detail. So there is a great amount of learning. We learned a lot from him. And this is what will be missing. in Dr. Mitra's death. We have lost a loving father. We have lost a caring husband. We have lost a top-notch bureaucrat. We have lost a prolific writer and voracious reader. Once I gave him a book that was on a public policy. And next day, I just casually asked him, what are his insights? I was not expecting that he would have read the book. So he came out with the summary of the book. And not only that, as a typical researcher, he was also a fine critic that what was missing in that book and what could be done further. So we have lost a prolific writer and voracious reader. And most importantly, we have lost the finest human being. I paid my tribute to Dr. R.K. Mitra. And as I said, he embodies Lord Rama and Lord Krishna. This journey from a perfect human to godly human is really symbolic, and he personified this particular transition. My great tribute to him, and I am sure we are all with Nirbhaya Didi, Sri Rupa Didi in this hour, and will continue to support and try to carry out his mission. The purpose of this particular forum is to celebrate his work and carry forward his mission, and will be doing this forward. Thank you.
I would now request Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi, Vice Chancellor of Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, to come to the dais and pay homage.
Namaskar. Dr. Mitra joined IFT as a registrar. When I come in touch with him, and we thought that as a registrar he is a typical bureaucrat, so he'll focus himself in administrative activities. But it was to a great surprise to most of us that he was an academician and a researcher as well, which Professor Deshmukh knew earlier, but I did not. And he not only transformed the institute in terms of its administration, but he very actively participated into the academic activities. And I was told that till I think recently he was taking a course, and our examination section was expecting a question paper from him, and we knew about this all, the sad news, and we are extremely sad about the whole thing. On my personal front, to IIFT, he brought a very new thing that time on that, the governance. He was, he brought a new idea of that, blue ocean strategy, that time blue ocean strategy, which was very new at that point of a time. And he was taking classes for, because we conduct program for bureaucrats and diplomats. So that was his very core area of expertise. With me, incidentally, I very fondly remember him traveling to, various parts of Africa. I distinctly remember him traveling to Kampala, where we conducted program for bureaucrats and diplomats for those countries. And then another area of expertise was the SEZs. So he conducted program for special economic zones across the country. It was absolutely, transformation to the academics of the institute, wherein research was more focused on, the practical aspects of the management. And more than that, he was a very compassionate human being. He mentored people. He mentored people in administration. He mentored people in, in academics. And, you see even the students from IFT, IIM, and many other institutes have come to pay homage to him. And, we are, very sad, very grieved with the family. And, my respects to him. and my deep sympathy and condolence with the family, Madam Mitra ji, his children. He was very much worried that time about his children, his daughter, and I was told that they are doing well. So with that, Om Shanti.
I would like to request any of Dr. Mitra's colleagues if they would like to come over here and share their thoughts. Please. That's Somnath Mitra.
Namaskar. Myself, Somnath Mitra. My association and acquaintance with Dr. R.K. Mitra, as I would call him, goes way back in 2012. So once in September 2012, I get a call from his office that he wanted me to deliver a lecture on smart cities. I was surprised. I mean, I didn't know him, and from where he came to know about, I also didn't know. And frankly, I was just doing my PhD on smart cities in those days. So how come he came to know about that? So that was my first, acquaintance and introduction to Dr. R.K. Mitra. I was very happy and to get an invitation to speak at Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, September 2012. I was fairly young in those days. And that's how the association, friendship, he was my mentor, guru, friend, all amalgamated. And then from 2012 onwards, we exchanged notes, exchanged thoughts. It went on. Last time I met him in person was in October 2019. And then came COVID, and he dispersed, and then he went to IIT Jodhpur, and then came back. I went to IIM Ahmedabad, and then subsequently, anchoring there in Ahmedabad. I was shocked to hear the news, and one of his ex-colleagues from IIT Jodhpur, who is right now in Mudra Institute of Communications in Ahmedabad, he messaged me. My hands were shaking to see that message. I couldn't believe it. And then subsequently, I checked with our friends, common friends, and the sad news was correct. And I wanted to visit. Had I been in Delhi, I would have definitely dropped by. And it's a coincidence that I am right now in Delhi and speaking at this podium. It's unbelievable. Still, I cannot believe it, that I do not have a friend, philosopher, guide with me. He was that much of an anchor to me. May his soul rest in peace, and pranam to the family members. That's what I can say. Thank you. Namaskar.
Yes, please. Can you come in?
I am Rashmi Goyal. I am a bureaucrat, and I have retired from the Ministry of Railways. I am retired from Varanasi Dealer Locomotive Works as General Manager. I was heading that place, and I was secretary there, secretary rank. I have worked with Dr. Mitra. I was Joint Secretary, Ministry of Home Affairs on deputation. He was my director. So we have had a long association together. I have very, very fond memories of him. We made a very good team. He was hands-on with everything, very, very quick with anything. He always had a solution. Very loving, a loving father, always worried about his children, about his wife, and he, very loving father, always, and very loving colleague also for everybody. He used to help everybody. In fact, I was shocked to hear about him. He was so busy all the time. I was in touch with him. He used to say, I'm teaching in IIT Jodhpur, I'm teaching in IIT Delhi, and he had become Vice Chancellor of SGT University in Gurgaon. And this news came as a big shock. He was, after that, he became Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs. He headed the police division where he was handling all the paramilitary. He was given an extension there. So it speaks volumes about his work and his thoroughness with which he was this thing. And in fact, he used to keep telling me about his wife, Sri Rupa, when she became MLA. And we were congratulating him. It was such, I have shared many happy moments together with him. Yeah. I wish that he attains moksha, his soul's rest in peace. I wish his family well. God bless all of them. Thank you.
I would now request Professor Shantanu Chaudhary, former director of IIT Jodhpur, to come and share his thoughts.
With great pain, I'm standing here and recollecting about Professor Mitra. In fact, IIT Jodhpur's the creation of the School of Management and Entrepreneurship was also a contribution of Professor Mitra. When we started, one of the first few faculty members who came over and supported this initiative was Professor Mitra. And I feel myself very fortunate to be able to request him, persuade him to be there with us to create a new management school in a new IIT. In fact, his contributions towards its curriculum formulations, it giving a structure to it, and initiating the research culture in the school will be remembered forever. In fact, my personal association was always enriching. And I remember he's talking to me about different ways and different aspects of actually digital governance and how a new IIT can really build up and research infrastructure in that. In fact, his idea about the future of management education that we projected and how the management should respond to the industries which are coming up, new generation industry, was really enlightening. Although that period was affected by COVID, and he at some point of time decided to come back from Jodhpur because he wanted to be in Delhi, but his contributions over that short period for me is invaluable, and I'm really grateful, although right now I'm back to IIT Delhi, but I still remember the way he nurtured the new school as it was being developed. In fact, as contribution, we have seen that the research scholars over there make video about his work and presented it here. So he has left an indelible mark in the history of IIT Jodhpur. I think I thought this is something to be submitted to this August gathering. And this is another aspect of his contributions to Indian academia. I sincerely pray for rest of his soul and deep condolences for his family. His memory will be always with me throughout my life. Thank you.
I'll request Mr. K.L. Sharma, who's a service batchmate of Dr. Mitra, 1982 batch.
Namaskar. Me and Dr. Mitra joined the civil services in 1982 together, and irrespective of whether he was in the administration or the academics, we continued to be in touch with each other, shared lots of thoughts and ideas about management and administration over a period of time. To me, Dr. Mitra was not an ordinary mortal. He was an exceptional administrator, a good leader, a very thorough academician, guide, philosopher, teacher. He mentored a lot of people, both inside the services establishment in the government of India and also in the academic institutions. He was a doting father, a loving and caring husband. I'll just share another dimension of his life. In the month of June 1993, at 12:30 in the night, I heard the doorbell of my house once, twice, and thrice. I was in deep slumber. When I woke up and went to see, I found Dr. Mitra along with another colleague, and their spouses were there. And they said, we have come to celebrate an occasion. That was the kind of zeal that he had for life. He was always a valuable colleague. In fact, always a call away. Any colleague could ring him up at any point of time and he will be available. To me, he appears to be a blend of rationality, logic, empathy, and intuition, all blended into one. That's the kind of words that I get to describe Dr. Mitra. Time was never a constraint for him. As you know, he combined both academics and the administration for a number of years. He was already a PhD from Calcutta University before joining the service. He did his MBA from Delhi University after putting in 11, 12 hours in the office. He joined the classes, did that, joined IIT thereafter, and pursued his DSc also from the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. He had been, as my predecessors have brought out, associated with lots of institutions all over India, and his contribution is immense. He has written a lot of books, and last 3 months back we spoke, and he checked with me whether I was still writing another book. So I told him, yes, I do plan. So he said, I'll also contribute a few chapters. That's the kind of zeal that he had. I wonder how and why God snatched him from us so early. But then the old adage comes to my mind, that those whom God loves die young. Maybe something greater was ordained for him. Maybe God had planned something better, bigger for him to accomplish, keeping in view his talent in diverse fields. With these words, I pray to Almighty to give solace to his soul and give enough strength to the family members, colleagues, friends, all of whom will continue to miss him. Thank you.
I'll now request Mr. S.K. Varma, service batchmate, to come to the dais.
I welcome you all in this prayers meeting. I am S.K. Verma, his batchmate. I had my association with him for the last 40 years, since the day we joined the service. Mr. Mitra had very unique qualities of life which I never witnessed normally in people who are in civil service. He was always dedicated to his duties. He will never indulge in gossip. Sometimes people feel he is isolated, but I felt always he had a very good quality that he will never indulge in gossip, and whenever there is a criticism of someone else or some gossip taking place, he will either keep quiet or he would go away from the meeting. Thirdly, he will mix up with people of every age or of every, irrespective of the standard of education or something. And he was very, very helpful. Whenever I told him to do help for some people, he would go out of the way. I still remember 2-3 families who will remember him for helping him, and they are always praised for him. And he was more of an academician than an administrator. He remained in civil service all the time. Whatever he was given assigned to, he performed with full effectiveness, with praise of all his seniors and juniors. And I found him to be a very good administrator. But over and above, I found to my surprise, after retirement, when I came to know of his academic excellence. He was Vice Chancellor of University, he was giving lectures, he was writing books, and I am very sure most of his colleagues will never know about this particular aspect of life. He was more busy with studies, research, but still he never neglected his duty. And we are very proud of him that we had such a fantastic colleague and we have lost him at such an early age. My heart goes to his family. I pay my heartfelt condolences to him. Thank you.
I would request Dr. Mitra's student, Yasraj, to come and share his thoughts.
Dr. Mitra had been a very valuable mentor to me. I learned 3 qualities from him that I would carry forward throughout my life. I have not known him for a very long period of time, but for a very short period of just 3 years, in the last 3 years, every morning we would exchange greetings after knowing him. And those 3 qualities that he taught me were hard work, simplicity, and honesty. He had always been there for any time of the day. Whenever we had any issue coming up, he would reach out to know how can he help in that. I just cannot express in words how that feeling is, but he was one of the reasons I started my company, and he was pushing me towards entrepreneurship from a very early time, that you should enter into entrepreneurship and bring out your research for the world. He was an advisor in that company, and I remember there were times when even at midnight, 12, 1 a.m., we would have meetings about the products that we were developing. And the insights and the energy that he brought, a person like me in his 20s, I couldn't bring that to the table. I felt that way whenever working with him. And that gave me this thing that I want to be someone like him when I grow to that age. Someone who can bring forth just that quality of being that active the way he was. And someone who would still distinguished people here mentioned that someone who would still like to mingle with people of all ages. I am a bit short on words on how to express this. This was too sudden. A few mornings back, before he was hospitalized, we were having conversations, and it was just like any other normal day. He was healthy, he was fine, but this came as a very great shock. But I hope his learnings, that many of people like me, some are here, some couldn't join, we would carry forward that legacy, and we would make sure that whatever we learn, we bring these three qualities out: hard work, simplicity, and honesty throughout our life, and make sure that other people around us also take that just rubs off. Thank you.
I would now request Dr. Mrs. Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General of Association of Indian Universities, to come to the dais.
Namaskar and pranam to all of you. I have known Sri Rupa ji for a very, very long time, something like 15-20 years. But Mitra ji, I came to know only around 3-4 years back, when Sri Rupa ji introduced me to him, saying that he has served all his life in the bureaucracy. He has retired as secretary, but he wants to contribute in academics. So he is looking for a university where he can contribute. I said, when you go to the university as a bureaucrat, you enjoy a lot of perks and a lot of respect and a lot of aura you have. So will it be possible for you to go to a university and work like a professor, almost like a nobody in especially a private university? He said, I don't worry about money. I don't worry about my stature. The only thing I want to do is I want to contribute to academics, because that is my first passion. And that passion he had pursued when he was in administration also. So I spoke to one university. It was SGT University in Gurgaon. They were also surprised that such a senior person will come as a professor. So they said, of course, we will be very happy to have him. They had him, he went there, he joined there. He stayed there in the campus. It is so difficult to stay on the campus. He stayed there on the campus. Sometimes he rented a house in Gurgaon. He stayed there, but he contributed immensely to the, furtherance of the university in improving, especially the law faculty, training the students, getting students employed. A lot of contribution was there, and the university was very, very, grateful to him for his contribution, for his humbleness, for his humility, for his friendly nature. And I personally have met him many times, and I've always found him very, very humble. A trait which is rarely seen in bureaucrats, very, very humble. So my respects to him, my heartfelt condolences. It was almost a shock. I could never think, it is too early for anyone to go like this, for a humble person like this. So my heartfelt condolences. Prayers to Almighty that his soul should rest in peace. Thank you.
I would request Mohit Jurani, his student, to come onto the dais.
Thank you, sir. And while my relationship and association with Dr. Mitra started when I was a student at IIFT, and as a mentor, as a mentee, when I was trying to navigate how to do my startup, and through each and every moment of both professional and personal life when I've been at my highest and at my lowest, I would like to express on behalf of all the students in the startup fraternity, when I say the words, it hasn't sunk in. Imagine you have somebody on your shoulder, somebody on your side, whenever you are feeling that you just can't do it, the entire world is against you, things are not going to work out, you are low on confidence. And one meeting, each and every meeting that I had with him over last 2010 to 2024, I just came out feeling like a winner. Like, I have somebody on my shoulders that nobody can defeat me, I can do this. And I think that has kind of, I feel physically has gone away, but I don't think so it'll ever go away from our lives. I would like to just share a point from my own vantage point, that what he exemplified to all of us, we are all so worried, insecure about what we are doing, whether we are succeeding, failing, that we forget to open up and help out others. And I think when Buddha said that our innate nature is infinite compassion, he kind of exemplified that infinite compassion to all of us. Whenever we went to him with our small problems, he would never talk about what challenges, health, anything he's going through, but he will come up and make you again go out in the world with your shoulders straight and head held high. And sir, I think if we can just try our lives to be just a little, go out of our own small, narrow world and try to be more open to others and help out, I think our life, that his own, I think, inner self-confidence came from the fact that he was so open to each and every one of us. Sir, I don't think so I can do justice to what you were to each of the students at IIFT, whose words were that it hasn't sunk in. I remember standing in your office, thinking as a PlaceCom convener that I'm not able to place my badge, and you will tell me it's going to be okay. You stayed with me after the batch went out of the college. There were some people still not placed, and you stayed back. There was no reason for you to, but you did. And a lot of people got second opportunities because of the calls you made, the kind of confidence that you gave me to say, hey, it's okay. Some companies will come, don't worry. And all I'll try is, even when I was doing my startup, sir, I know I couldn't do justice to taking it to the heights that you thought we would, but every time the meeting will go low or investment would not come, or I would not have an idea where to go, even if I have no agenda, I'll just say, sir, can I just meet with you for some time? And when I'll come out, me and my co-founder will say, hey, we're going to be okay. And I think we're all going to be okay because he's going to be with us. I got an opportunity to meet Rudra, and I think that spark, that zeal, that intelligence, that sharpness is a reflection of how Sir was, and I think we're all going to be okay. And he's going to be there with us, watching over us and telling us that infinite compassion is the way to not just be good to others, but to be good to yourself. And I'm very thankful to be able to say a few words here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else who would like to share their thoughts? Please, sir.
Okay, I'm Satya Sinha. So I've been a student of Dr. R.K. Mitra in IFT, during the period of 2010. And I remember as a student at that young age, we were not, at least I was not very much serious about listening to lectures. But he was one of the professor, his body language, his scholarly ability. He took one of our class, Indian Economy and Trade Policy. And out of nowhere, I was able to capture what he was telling in terms of concepts and everything. And he raised that inquisitiveness. And as my earlier speaker told, that he gave that kind of a confidence from his positivity, openness, approachable nature that rubbed on me as well. And I have not seen such an open person. I'll just remember one more incident. After 2010, I met him in 2014. I am not happy that I was not able to maintain that kind of a relationship with him over a period of 14 years since I knew him. But after 4 years, when he was Joint Secretary, Home Affairs in Home Department, I was in a very delicate situation and looking for some kind of help. And he, without any appointment, spent, I think, more than 45 minutes, 1 hour with me at his office. And when I came out, it gave me a lot of confidence. And in fact, he made calls to one of the corporate for a job reference to me because I was not having a job. I took a study break. And not only that, after he inquired whether, when I was going for the interview, whether I wore a suit or not. After the interview, he inquired how did it go. So these are the two interactions I just want to mention. And may his soul rest in peace, and definitely I'll miss him. Thank you.
I'll request Dr. Chanchal Sarkar, who is the Joint Secretary at Ministry of Finance and a former colleague of Dr. Mitra, to come to the dais.
I really do not recall when exactly I met him, but what I remember is two things. One, it was 2007 when I was working in the Department of Commerce Ministry as Undersecretary, and he was the Director Administration. I also remember the first time I met him in his room. He said, "Tu baad mein aana." So I didn't quite like it. I was a very young officer. And then, subsequently, when I had gone, I knew what was this tu. He was, subsequently, my experiences have been such that he was no less than fatherly. His affection was just like a father. And that's how he said, "Tu baad mein aana." And even though I did not report directly to him, but he would encourage the young officers like me then, like anything, not only me, there were a couple of young officers. He would do everything possible, both in office and outside the office. He would ask, even he would ask, "What have you eaten?" This was the level of his affection, his ability to mingle. He was fairly senior, but still he would ask, "Do you like this?" I remember when I was that young officer, then I was going for some trip, then he asked me, "Have you got your hotel done? Have you got your vehicle?" And he would manage everything. He would then, from the colleagues, we came to know that he is not a simple, typical director. And indeed it was. He would give extraordinary solution. He was, Dr. K.L. Sharma has mentioned, he was extraordinary. He was truly an extraordinary person in every sense. He was simple. He was extremely intelligent. He was very, very caring. He would see that the ministry and the department where he works, that department excels. In fact, I can go on speaking subsequently when he was in Home Ministry, Joint Secretary, looking after a very, very important charge. He would be always busy. Incidentally, I was Deputy Secretary in Finance Ministry then. We used to sit in the same floor, and then I'll go to him. Despite his busy schedule, I'll go to him and discuss about official thing, and he would give solution. In fact, to be very frank, most of the time I have gone for some help. Somebody's transfer, some very needy, and every occasion, despite his busy schedule, he would try helping out. Last time I would stop. I can go on and on, both office and non-office issues. I remember he called me up. He said, in February, March, April, all 3 months. He said, there is a gentleman and he's very ill, and he doesn't have, there is anybody. He has a daughter who's a doctor and posted in Calcutta. Could you please help him? Because I know that you know that person. Then I said, yes, sir, I can. Why not? Then I tried, and it didn't happen for the first time. Then he called me up, and he said, Chanchal, what happened? So he almost shouted at me and said, what are you doing? Try to help people. Please understand that this old person doesn't have anybody to take care. And then I want to thank you, sir, for shouting us at me and to us in this way. And please continue to shout. And the last thing, he wanted me to come and speak because he was organizing some event. Incidentally, in my work, I got some kind of position, and then he said, okay, as that position, you come and speak. I said, sir, this is not my subject. He said, no, I know that you will speak very well. Anyway, so it has been extremely shocking, very difficult to accept. My deepest heartfelt condolences and all my prayers for the family. Please, I pray the God to give the strength to the family to bear this loss and all of us. And please allow me not to pray that you rest in peace. No, I know that you will not be happy if you do not work for the people. Please continue to work for the people, and please shout at us. Thank you.
I'll request Dr. Nimesh G. Desai to come to the podium.
Namaskar. A warning and a disclaimer. I'm here to lighten the atmosphere. All such occasions, the atmosphere does get very grieving, very somber, very serious. And I'm sure everybody who has said what they have said, they meant it. And everybody who is sitting here means to share the grief with Shri Rupaji and the family. But is there anyone here who never met Dr. Ramkrishna Mitra in flesh and blood? And yet I'm here. Why? I never met Rishikesh Mukherjee, I pay tributes to him. I never met Bidhan Chandra Roy, I pay tributes to him. I never met possibly the greatest versatile genius of Bengal society or human race, Gurudev. But I paid homage to him, right? So I'm here to pay homage and kind of lighten the atmosphere for Dr. Mitra in a slightly different manner. Shri Rupa Mitra Chaudhary ji and I met first time 22 years ago in 2002. I have spent 36 years in Delhi and never ran into each other. You know, that's such a shame actually. It's a matter of huge grief and loss and regret and more and pain. Now that we know that, you know, I can never meet him. And know all that you people knew. But when Shri Rupaji and I met first time in 2002, having spent time at AIMS and I was at that hospital in Shadra, Shri Rupaji with a few other colleagues were the legal nominee to one of our boards, and we got to know each other. And believe you me, for a long time I kept wondering what this Shri Rupa Mitra Chaudhary is. And by common Indian tradition, at least for last century, I presume Chaudhary was the married name and her maiden name was Shri Rupa Mitra, like most people do. Only after some years it turned out that she was that unusual person to have kind of brought Dr. Mitra in. And then gradually as we kept talking about things more, and really, Dr. Mitra was younger to me. Shri Rupaji is younger to me in chronological age, and yet in true Bengali tradition and out of the respect for what she has done, I have for many years referred to her in many platforms as Didi. The other point that I want to make, friends, is this. Often it's been said that children and grandchildren who live on indicate what kind of a person was, man or woman, father or mother or grandfather or grandmother. I have realized in last many years, and certainly last 3 or 4 weeks, now that I have the sense of loss, that I got to know Dr. Mitra and everything about him, not only after 28th May, after so much of talk and today, but through the lady. A gentleman who could support and who supported all the kind of work that Shri Rupaji did, and fearlessly for the most downtrodden. That is how I know the measure of the man. And in late 20th century and early 21st century in India, that's not easy, that never was easy. So I'm sure, as Shri Rupaji now tells me, references kept coming up between us about Dr. Mitra, between her and Dr. Mitra, about this Dr. Desai who is in Shadra Mental Hospital, IBAS, and you know, I'll need to take the homeless mentally ill person to him, and all of that stuff. And lastly, let's not make the mistake of believing that any one of us, or oneself or the other person, is here for long. One more time, for the millionth time in life, that I realize how one did not meet people enough and interact enough, or one did not meet people at all. Can any Prakruti, any nature, any God, any Allah, any Christ now give me that chance? No, it can't. So when I went to Lodi on 28th evening, that was one good, very terrible sense that I had. But I do want to say, like I tried saying, let's lighten the atmosphere a little. The family, I know, means it when they say celebrating. So I think let's celebrate all that we know about Dr. Mitra and wish the family well. But I do want to say one more time, I can't not say this hundreds of times. The kind of work that Shri Rupaji did fearlessly and in the difficult circumstances is, besides her own credit, a huge tribute to the gentleman, Dr. Mitra. Thank you.
I missed introducing Dr. Desai. He's one of the most well-renowned psychiatrists in the country and president of the World Psychiatric Organization. I would also request any other student of Dr. Mitra if they would like to share any thought about Dr. Mitra. Is anyone else left? Right, I don't think there's anyone else. So, bringing this part of today's prayer meeting to a closure, just want to share my few thoughts about Dr. Mitra. When I met him is lost in the sands of time. So it's been a long association, and every time I would meet him, everything that everybody else said on the podium today would resonate. He had an absolutely stunning clarity of thought, a deep perspective of strategy, and when we hold an event, he would come down and talk about why the label is slightly tilted. It's a legend in the Center for Digital Economy Policy Research that he was very upset that there was a line in a banner that was not properly drawn. These are things that young people tend to ignore, but that's not something Dr. Mitra ignored. My association with him increased when I was an adjunct professor at IIT and he was doing his PhD. He had a guide with whom I was also very close. And we dealt and delved into all issues that he would bring to the table, the SEZs, the FRRO issues, and so on and so forth. Every time I would go to a government office with him, there would be nothing else but deep respect for what he had already delivered in that office, be it the Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh, be it even the personal secretary of a junior bureaucrat. He was able to connect with everybody. Just to indicate what kind of person Dr. Mitra was towards his last days, I was pretty confident he'll come back like he always would, because he was always a fighter, as everybody else said. And we were just preparing that, once he comes back, what are the things we'll do with him, and, what are the activities we should be taking up. Unfortunately, he decided in a different way, and so did the universe. But he was extremely uncomfortable in an ICU. He disliked ICU. I can use the word, he hated ICU. Not because it was discomfortable or uncomfortable for him, not because they were putting whatever needles and stuff into him, but because they would not allow him to work. Right? His mobile phone was taken away, his laptop was taken away. He was getting tortured because he could not work. And that was something not acceptable to him. Let's celebrate that part of Dr. Mitra and every other part of Dr. Mitra and the immense contribution in terms of knowledge that he has left behind. That is for all of us to enjoy. I would now request all of you to pay your Pushpanjali to the departed soul. As one of the predecessors just said, no matter where he is, he's still working hard, ensuring that we have a better society. The lunch will be served at the multipurpose hall, AC hall, which is nearby at IISc. Thank you.